Hello and welcome to the Climbing Daily Wednesday news show. And it's just me. Matt is away on holiday in Abu Rathin. If you're in Abu Rathin, can you actually just give me a call and let him know that if he's okay? Because I haven't heard from him for a while. Thanks. Okay, on today's show, we've got a whole bunch of news. Some of it good, some of it very good, and some of it amazing. But let's start off with the Rockstars. Now in its 9th year, the Adidas Rockstars took place at its usual home at the Porsche Arena in Stuttgart. The field was whittled down to some familiar faces on the IFSC Tour, but the winners were a bit more of a surprise. In the men's, Yoshiyuki Ogata of Japan beat Florian Klingler of Austria in the now trademark Adidas Rockstars race on an identical problem. And in the women's, it was Japan's Futaba Ito who beat world champion Yanya Gambre into second place. So a great day out for the Japanese there, and what I didn't say, in the men's final they had to add a hold because originally it was deemed too hard, but that didn't really matter for Yoshiyuki, who basically just skipped it anyway and went straight to the top and won it. So congrats to all the winners there. Right, next up we are headed down to Rocklands. Ete.nu has reported that Guiliano Cameroni has made the first ascent of a Fred Nicole route in Rocklands and named it Legacy. The route is a 10-meter bolted sport route, and a grade of 9A has been proposed, making it the first of that grade in Africa. Fred had been projecting the route since 2014, and a couple of days after Guiliano made the first ascent, Fred made the second. So a little bit of controversy with this route, and I'm not sure if it is a controversy, but Fred Nicole had been projecting the route since 2014. Guiliano, who Fred has known since he was a very small kid, basically, asked him if he could have a go on it before Fred had finished it. Fred wasn't totally sure about it, but it was Guiliano, so he let him do it. Guiliano then went and did it because he's Guiliano, and then maybe that kind of inspired Fred to do it. So a couple of days later, Fred did it. So hopefully all parties are happy, and Fred isn't too annoyed that he didn't get the first ascent. Anyway, we are now headed over to America, where Alex Honnold has been sending pretty hard. Alex Honnold has made what he says is the first ever Oscars 9A link-up, going to the Oscars and making a 9A ascent in 1 year. This is Alex's first 9A 514D and is a repeat of Ethan Pringle's line Arrested Development in Mount Charleston, Nevada. Impressive work there from Alex, and amazing to think that he's never sent a 9A before. That's his first ever 9A, but I guess that's kind of not his forte in a way. He's more of a endurance, scare the crap out of everybody watching him type of climber. Right, next up we have got a bit of news from Vojtech Trojan. The man with perhaps the best name in climbing has climbed his 9A sport route project. It's called Der Heilige Grau. It's in the Franken-Jura. He's been projecting it for a couple of weeks. I just really like his name. Vojtech Trojan is a fantastic name. Next up, we are going to Switzerland. Planet Mountain reports that Cedric Lachat, climbing with Tobias Suter, has made the first repeat and first one-day ascent of Fly, the 8C multi-pitch route in Lauterbrunnental in Switzerland. The line was famously first ascended in 2014 by Alex Magos over a 4-day period. The 20-pitch beast of a route finishes off with 2 pitches of an 8C roof and 8B plus technical phase climbing. Quite an achievement by Cedric to do it in 1 day. So I don't know if you guys remember, but back in 2014, Alex Magos climbed that route. There's a very famous picture of him looking absolutely exhausted on a bivvy with like 3 other guys. I can't remember their names, but I will flash up the photo there. That was kind of back in the day when Alex was kind of like exploring different avenues, and that was his first multi-pitch, and it's basically one of the hardest multi-pitches in Europe. And then like after Dornwall and a couple of others probably in the world. Right. Next up, 8C counter. Okay, so we got one new addition this week. Guiliano Cameroni, who is continuing to smash like he's never smashed before, if you know what I mean. He has climbed the finish line, very famous line in the Rocklands. Here's a little picture of it. It is, I think, a Nali Huchtaivel route, although I haven't researched that, I just did that off the top of my head. But I'm assuming because it's called the finish line and because it's in Rocklands, that would narrow down the first ascensionist to Nali Huchtaivel. Anyway, I now have to look for Guiliano Cameroni, which is essentially my crux of the show. He's quite early up. He actually needs, he He needs one of these. Give me 2 secs. Hey, there you go, look at that. So, Guiliano Cameroni has followed in the footsteps of Mr. Jimmy Webb by having another flap. He's obviously he's doing pretty well. Let's just have a little quick count up of the first two, because I think Guiliano and Jimmy Webb are in the lead. Jimmy Webb's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Guiliano's on 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Guiliano has taken the lead. Yeah, by the way, there's no 9Bs, just 1 8C. There may be more. Somebody got in touch with me on Instagram the other day talking about an 8C plus that Jimmy Webb had done, but it wasn't. It was like, he just put up a post of when he'd done Sleepwalker, which was like earlier on this year. But thanks very much anyway for keeping in touch. Let's just put that over there, shall we? Okay, so we need to talk about media. Now, this week is a pretty crazy week for media because I've been putting up videos left, right, and centre. First off, I want to quickly talk about Cold House Media. They're vlogging a Euro road trip. Here's a quick clip. Classic Shah and Josh. They're great, aren't they? Do you like? I like them a lot. They're great. Right, next up we've got a film that has just been published on YouTube on Tuesday, yesterday. It's called Of Rocks and Needles. I'm actually not going to show you a clip because there's a warning that flashes up at the start of the video which says this contains disturbing footage, whatever you call it. Basically, it's like there's some stuff that's kind of raw. It basically follows two doctors who go climbing and do medical aid work in Laos. And a lot of the film focuses on their time in the hospital and like working with the kind of local people there and trying to do the best work that they can. But they also obviously go rock climbing as well. So there's a chance to explore the local rock in Laos and see what they can kind of offer. And they've been doing it for a couple of years, so they've got like their areas that they've established and where they go, and they kind of talk it through in the documentary. Anyway, it is really, really good. It's by a filmmaker called Killian O'Reilly. I very recommend you go and watch it. I'll leave a link in the description. It's kind of powerful stuff. It's more kind of powerful, serious stuff than we've kind of done before, that we've published before. So I would love to hear what you think about it. It's kind of long, it's 32 minutes, it's a proper film. It's like a proper documentary film. But I urge you to go and watch it. If you are a bit squeamish, I've got to admit there are bits which will disturb you, but if you can kind of take that kind of stuff, it's worth going to watch. Right, next up, we are talking about the Living Legends. Now the Living Legends, we've kind of spoken about it before. We spoke a bit about it last week in the news show with Matt. We go around, we film with current like La Sportiva sponsored athletes. We kind of find out their story, like what they're about, like who they are, what they're kind of up to at their career at this point. We went and filmed with Marcello Bombardi, Ludovico Vassalli, and Mikhail Picol-Ruaz. Can't really say that name, sorry. And we went and filmed with them in Innsbruck as they started to train, as they were training for the Olympics.
Mi alleno 2 volte al giorno e la più grande sfida ora è migliorare la resistenza mantenendo la potenza per la speed. Non mi piace correre, ma è un buon modo per abituare il corpo a questo tipo di fatica. La disciplina che mi piace di più è la speed, perché amo l'atmosfera nelle gare, c'è molta adrenalina. Prima di iniziare la gara sono tutti calmi e subito dopo l'atmosfera cambia. La gente incomincia a incitarci per farci fare il nostro meglio e vincere la gara.
Okay, so link in the description if you want to watch that film. That was mine and a cameraman called Matfi's work. Hope you enjoy it. There's 2 more of them to come. The next one is with Hazel Finley and that's coming very soon. Right, next up we've got shop stuff, and the big thing for me that I've seen in the shop that we've got a whole bunch of restock stuff. The big thing for me that I've seen is the Rhino products that we've just got in. When these came in before, they sold out within a couple of days, like super popular. People like kind of Tom Randall are using this kind of stuff. A lot of the big athletes are using this. It just like dries up your skin to, I don't know, if you're like high-end level climbing, not like myself, and you need that kind of extra edge on your climbing projects, then go check this stuff out. It is apparently very good. I've never tried it, but Matt says it's great. As well, we've also got Scarpa restock and a La Sportiva restock coming soon as well. So there's a whole bunch of stuff being restocked, things flashing up on the screen right now, so go check it out. Right, next up, we've got comment of the week. Cue funny comment of the week dancing segment. Come in. Oh no, let me stop. Okay, so this comment of the week came in from, it was a combination of John C and Chris Bartlett we've seen before. John C said, Matt needs to find a way to make it up to the Dabrats after flashing her project on the show. Maybe a challenge that is rigged so that Matt is guaranteed to lose. That shouldn't be too hard to come up with. Chris Bartlett has very helpfully suggested in the comment, how about a reaching things on high shelves and supermarket off? Cue laughter from the crew. Hey! Good one, eh? When Matt's away, we make fun of him. Right, that's it for the show. Hope you enjoyed it. It was maybe brief, confusing, and probably quite exhilarating. So have a great weekend. It's only Wednesday, but we're almost there. Bye.